What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. So I wanted to make this video in hopes of urging and inspiring everyone to go after what you want in life and never knowing what the end plan will be, but to try everything. And this is not just for people in their 20s. This can be 30s, 40s, just starting a new decade and throwing things out there and kind of seeing what sticks. That's the point of this video. And this is not to talk about achievements that I've made, but it's just used as a guideline in my own experience to kind of help share these things with you and hopefully motivate you all. So when I was 22, I believe, when I first graduated college, 22 or 23, I saw a video from Gary Vaynerchuk, and it was basically saying, try everything in your 20s. He's made these now where it's like, try everything in your 30s, try everything in your 40s. But this was try everything in your 20s, get as much experience as possible. And this was me coming out of college. I didn't have a lot of experience with anything. I was a track and field athlete. I was super into the gym and fitness. I had a little side gig at a personal training company, training a couple of clients on the side and kind of learning how to do that. But other than that, zero experience. I went to school for broadcasting and communications because I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, and I did exercise science at first. I didn't like those classes, and I was like, I can just study this stuff on my own. I don't want to go through college classes for so long. I didn't really like the professors, so I'm just going to study these courses on my own. I'm going to do communications. It was honestly just a way of, I want to graduate early because I was so done with school, honestly, after my sophomore year. I was like, get me out of here. But I didn't like go to school for something like medical or something that would give you an automatic, well, it's never automatic these days, but give you somewhat of a job when you graduate. This was kind of like a major where people make fun of it. Like, it's a major that people do just to like say you're going to college and doing something. No hate to anyone that studied communications, but it was an easier major. Let's put it at that. So after I watched this video, I had the mindset that I was going to try a bunch of different things. So I started personal training more and training more clients, and these were kind of high-end clients in the area that I had, but I didn't have any to myself. It was just working for this company. So I decided to try to pick up clients on my own outside of this. So I would go to Whole Foods, I would go to Lululemon, and I would hand out business cards and just start talking about working out and saying to random people, hey, where do you work out? What type of fitness do you do? Like, I'm a personal trainer. I am also, skilled with nutrition. Like, I was kind of reading about that, but I didn't have a degree or anything. So I was like, I can kind of help you and maybe give you tips for nutrition as well, but I can train you. So I was starting to do that, and all of a sudden I got like 2 clients. And I was like, okay, 2 clients, and I had this side gig training job graduating college. I had an offer to work a 9-to-5 at a basically consulting firm for, I think it was for like hiring, like it was a hiring consulting firm or something like that. And it was going to pay like, I don't know, $60,000 a year. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, it was not what I wanted to do. I hadn't tried anything yet. So I was like, it's not for me. I'm not going to take it. So these 2 clients turned into 3. All of a sudden, I had enough to cover my rent, which was not a lot, but I had a little bit a month to cover my rent. So I decided to quit this side personal training job and start training these 3 clients. Now, I definitely committed to doing as best I could and giving it my all effort so that these clients would love me, and I would do everything that I could to help them with fitness, help them with nutrition. And I really started studying and learning more about it so I could create a business for myself out of this, hopefully. So those 3 clients gave me referrals, which was all kind of word of mouth. I was starting a social media page, doing fitness competitions and bodybuilding competitions, and I was meeting people through that, and I was starting to post on social media my transformation and little things, and people were reaching out asking for $10 workout programs. I was doing like $5 booty programs, I remember, and I was like putting together workouts that I did with videos attached and all of these things and selling like these little like ebooks. And then I decided to get I got a little certification, but I decided to go through like the actual NASM Real Deal course. And then I did a nutrition certification. I got insurance. I got all of these things that I needed. I registered myself as an LLC, and tried to create a business. But keep in mind, I only had like 5 clients at this time and a couple of people that were buying these $5 programs online. So I kept with it for about a year, and I was doing pretty good. Like, I had enough to cover my bills, groceries, everything that I kind of needed, but I wasn't really like making a lot, but it was a business. Like, I was kind of able to fend for myself and pay my bills with this business that I had. And I was trying to grow it. And through this client experience, they were asking me, where do you buy your resistance bands? Where do you buy your yoga mats? Because we would use all these things during our workouts and foam rollers and all this stuff. And so I was like, why don't I try to like create these products. And so I was on YouTube, but I'm like, okay, how do I start a fitness like actual brand where I have products and all of these different things? So I was researching it on Google. I think I started on like Alibaba or AliExpress trying to get like samples of different items. And I created a brand called Fitccessory, and I trademarked the name, and I created different patterns for like booty bands or glute bands. I created hemp based like eco-friendly yoga mats, foam rollers, and all of these things. And I ordered like 3,000 units of each thing. And I was doing pop-up booths at different like health food restaurants and gyms and telling my clients and all of these things. And I was calling gyms in the area, trying to get them to buy wholesale of these products just to try to get the word out. So all of a sudden, after a year graduating college, no idea what I was doing, I had 2 businesses all of a sudden. And I was trying to operate them both. They would kind of go together. I was calling places saying like, how can I do, workout classes for free just to try to get people. And then I would, tell them about my products or use that and kind of like do both at the same time. So then COVID hits, and I decide to, on top of this, start a podcast, because I had realized that by watching Gary Vee and I forget who else I was watching, Jay Shetty and all these like motivational, like you can do it type of podcasts, I was like, I want to start my own podcast. This was in 2019, I believe, when I started it. And I just started emailing guests, and I started like researching like what guests can I get that are within, it was entrepreneurs, athletes. And that's what I wanted, is to kind of hear their stories and help urge and inspire others to go after what they want in life, because that's the one thing that helped me, was listening to podcasts and just like hearing other people's journeys, and like it made me realize that I can do this. So I started booking guests, and it was kind of for my own benefit, just to like help myself get the knowledge from these like super incredible people, but then I would record it. And I didn't really care who listened to it. I loved doing it. It was also filling the broadcast niche a little bit, because I was like, this is like my dream job, is doing broadcasting and hosting and all this stuff. I love the podcasting. So I just wanted to do it as like a passion project. And so I ended up booking like 200 guests. It actually was in the top 10% of podcasts. I'm revamping it soon. And then during this time, I had COVID hit. So COVID hit, I decided to put my products on this website to get more eyes from retailers and things of that nature. And all of a sudden, GNC calls me and says, we want to put your products in Shape Magazine and all these magazines and on our website and basically in our store. And I was like, oh my God. So all of a sudden I'm like researching how to do this stuff. It's just me. There's no like team. So I'm like, yeah, the team's stocking it in our warehouse, and the warehouse is like my guest bedroom. Like it doesn't exist. So I'm like figuring out how I can get more items. The shipping has stalled. Like you have to do sea shipping, which it took like 120 days or something, or air shipping, which was too expensive for me. That was quicker. So I was like trying to operate this. I was getting more clients. COVID hit. And so all of a sudden my clients moved to online. So then I started pushing like, okay, now I'm going to do online training. So now I'm an online trainer, an in-person trainer. I have this fitness equipment business and a podcast. And I'm doing all of this just me, myself, and I from my house. So I'm doing all these things. The bands and the equipment, the yoga equipment, ended up selling out. So it sold out after, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. And then I ordered like 5,000 more units. And by the time it got to me, COVID was actually like kind of like, it was getting better. People were starting to like kind of leave their houses. So I ordered all of this equipment and things just like paused. So I was like, what do I do? And then Walmart reached out to me and they said that they store things in their warehouse and they can pack and ship it for you, whatever. So I ended up just shipping everything to the Walmart warehouse. And actually, I think I still have things in there today, because I was kind of like, how do I operate this? So I was shipping, everything to them. They would pack and ship it, and it like kind of took things off of me. So I didn't like order anything else. I said that I'm going to sell everything before I order more, or at least get to the last, 100 units before I start ordering a bunch more. And so at this time, the online training and the fitness training had really picked up a lot. And I was kind of starting to, train more people in person. And I was getting offers to do fitness modeling for different brands like Nordic Track and Peloton, and Fabletics reached out to me and different things like that. And I was like, okay, how do I get an agency? So this is me with like, I've done some modeling gigs, but not a ton. And I realized that, okay, I kind of like this. I like the fitness modeling. I want to try it out. So I decided to start calling modeling agencies. I was denied by like half of them, almost all of them. And finally, I get a call back from me doing like outreach of like, hey, I'm interested in becoming a model. I have a portfolio. I've done this. I know I'm going to do a good job for you, like just pitching myself. And I get a call from Wilhelmina, which is like one of the top modeling agencies in the world, saying, we'd love to have you fly to New York, have a meeting with us. And so I did. Like a week later, I was on the plane. I flew to New York. I had a meeting and I got signed by the modeling agency. So it was a 3-year contract and I got a ton of cool opportunities through that. But it was all through outreach of me like going after things and just reaching out to people. People do not know who you are unless you are putting yourselves directly in front of them. And that's the one thing I really learned, is that you can't be afraid to do that. You have to just go out there, call whoever, go to events if you don't like calling people randomly, but put yourself in front of these people and try the things that you think you might be good at, because that's how you figure out what you like to do. So through all of this, I realized, okay, love the broadcasting, and I was pitched to be in a movie, actually. This is so random, but I had a friend that was going to be in a movie and they needed someone that was like a sports broadcaster. And my friend was like, oh, I know someone that kind of does that. And so I basically auditioned for this movie and they put me in this movie randomly in one of the lead roles. I auditioned, they were like, well, we actually would love to have you for a bigger role. So I auditioned, I did this movie, and it was my first experience of absolutely nothing. And I kind of realized, okay, I like that too. And so I'm like inching my way towards what I like and what I don't like. And so through all of this, I realized that, okay, love to help people. I love speaking on camera. How can I combine all of these things? And I just kind of kept throwing myself out there and putting myself in these positions to kind of hopefully make more happen. Because I think when you don't know what you want to do, which you're lucky to know if you know that at a young age, that's amazing, but a lot of us don't. And the best way to find out is to try a bunch of different things. But you have to give it long enough. I think a lot of the times for me, I would try something and then I would quit because I was like, this is not working. But until I realized, like, you really have to give it your all, at least for a year for each thing, and then kind of see, okay, how's it going and like what's working basically. And then I think you can really find out like what you like. So through all of this, the more recent thing, but I learned a lot about people. So I learned a lot of people skills and I learned a lot about business. And so those two things, because my training business was a lot of high net worth entrepreneurs, individuals, I started doing work for a family office. And if you don't know what a family office is, it is high net worth families, or maybe they have businesses that are basically, they have their own offices to buy other businesses. So I was doing work for a family office. I was building like financial models for different, like we wanted to open up a gym, and I was kind of going through the family office. So the family office would basically fund it under them, but then I would kind of be a part of that business. So I was kind of building financial models and kind of figuring out how we can do this. And through that, I got into private equity because I knew that I loved business. I loved, learning about different businesses that were going on in the world. And I loved kind of interacting with people, and kind of sales role turned into working with a private equity firm and doing kind of consulting and business development and all of these things, which was not something that I ever expected, but it was through all of these things that I tried out and through all these experience that led me to have an opportunity like that. After, like, I didn't go to school for finance. I didn't take like crazy amount of courses for that, but it was a weird way of trying everything and getting experience in order to get into a position like that, which I absolutely love. So I guess my point is with all of this is don't be afraid to try different things. I think we're always like, it's not going to work, it's too crazy, but it's the crazy things that work the most. And I do think it doesn't have to be like in your 20s, it can be in your 30s, it could be in your 40s, depends on your situation. But I just think that you have to give things enough time and try it, and maybe have a base of something, but then I think it's helpful to have like side hustles, but I don't think you can have a million. Like, I feel like I kind of went crazy with different things, but I think that like maybe having your regular job or whatever it is and doing a side hustle or two to kind of figure out like, okay, am I good at this? Throw yourself in it and like say, okay, what is my lifestyle going to be like if I were to do this full time? What's my day to day? Who can I talk to that's in this position that I want to be in? That would kind of help me with, how can I get there? How much are you able to make in this industry? Whatever the case may be, because I know we have those goals as well. So just kind of talking to other people and putting yourself in that situation always helps. And to know that, like, I still don't know where things are going to be in 5 years or 10 years from now, but I do know that after having all these experience and trying all these things and being in some of the positions that I've been in, I know that I can do it. Like, I know that if something were to happen, I can always like figure it out and try new things and like get myself on my feet, if that makes sense. And I think that's really important to try things, because you kind of prove to yourself that you can do it. And you prove to yourself that you're not one-dimensional. You're not only good at one thing, which maybe someone told you that, or maybe you've been in an industry for 10 or 15 years and now you want to try something else and you're like, it's impossible, I only have these skills. But maybe it's just because you're focusing on those skills every day. Like, I really think that when you're in a job, like, her career path, like, you're thinking about those things all the time, and like what you have to do, what you didn't do, what you have to do tomorrow, or time you have to be somewhere. Like, all of these things are filling our brains all the time. So maybe you are good at something else, but you don't know it because you haven't given enough thought or time or energy or effort or any of these things. So the point of this whole video is that throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And in that, you will learn a ton of different skills about yourself, what you're good at and what you're not good at, and the things that you like and don't like. And you will get to a destination where you enjoy the life that you live, because you're doing your passions and things that fuel you and fulfill you and all of these things, which is so incredibly important to have that in some capacity. It could be in different hobbies, but I think that you absolutely need to do that. It's like when you were a kid and you tried all these sports and then you figured out, the coach said, you're really good at this sport, and you kind of stuck with that. But it's kind of the same thing. You kind of have to see how it's going by giving it your all, what sticks, what doesn't, and then you will find out what you are meant to do, because I think we all have different skills and talents that are like we're born with, or at least we learn it so much that it's just a part of us. And whatever that is, it could be something, I don't know, an example, but whatever that skill is, I think you have to run with it, because that is the thing that will make you unique and different and succeed at the industry and role that you're in. So that is all. That's what I wanted to say, but I hope this helped, and try it all. And let me know in the comments what you have tried and what didn't work and what did work, because I'm very interested to see, and we can compare, and let's just hope for growth and positivity and amazing weeks and months ahead.